Hi. I've noticed there's a lot of unhappiness in this world, and I've decided that I need to do something about it. So that's why I'm making this video. Now, you're unhappy because everybody on this planet is unhappy. And what you need to do to get happy is to wake up. And it's kind of hard, but it's also easy. First thing you have to do is realize that you are not you. When you were born, your parents or the state or the county gave you a name. And then as you grew up, whatever anyone said to you became part of your identity. They said you're smart. They said you're clever. They said you're dumb. And so you just incorporated that into your identity. And then over time, it just builds and builds and builds as other people tell you who you are. So the reason you're unhappy is you don't know who you are. And the way to find out who you are is to get rid of the fake identity. The fake identity is basically in charge of what you think and what you feel. He's the one doing the thinking, or it's the one doing the thinking, and it's the one doing the feeling. So how do we break that fake identity off of us? We recognize that that is not us. We recognize that that is something that history put there, our own history. And I'm not saying you forget your history. What I am saying is you have to realize, recognize that that is not who you are. So who are you? You are consciousness. You are love. You are joy. You are peace. That is your birthright. And if you don't wake up, you can never access it. So as we recognize that that's not us, first thing we want to look at is the thinking. Is the thinking me? Am I thinking these thoughts? No, you're not thinking those thoughts. The compulsive, conditioned thoughts that you have had throughout your life are in the control of your fake identity. Many people call it the ego. So, you have to surrender to the fact that you are not the thinker. The fake identity is. And you have to surrender to the fact that everything that's gone on in your life has been controlled by this fake identity ego. Maybe you have a great life. Maybe you have a wonderful house and a beautiful wife and a fancy car and a great job. But somewhere down deep is a void you can't fill with things, or prestige, or power, or fame. And can only be filled with love, peace, and joy, which are available to you in your inner dimension. Now, how do we recognize that our thoughts are not our own? When you go into the woods, or another place that's kind of like a church, maybe, you don't think, you just perceive, because it's so beautiful. Okay? So what we need to do is just stop thinking. Stop the thinking. Accept the thoughts that come to you, but recognize they're not your thoughts. You've got nothing to do with them. Okay? After that, we need to surrender to the people and positions that you're holding. What are positions? They're like the Republicans have their position. The Democrats have their position. The tech lords have their position. And what you do, and what we all do, is we take a position. We say, I'm a Democrat, or I'm a Republican. Or I think the greatest rock band in the world is Hot Chili Peppers, Red Hot Chili Peppers, or whatever your position is. That position has to go. You have to let it go. You have to surrender to the fact that that position has nothing to do with you, nothing to do with your true identity. Secondly, thirdly, you have to surrender to the fact that you are not your body. Your body is something that you happen to be wearing, okay? But it's not who you are. It's not your identity. So there's no need to be worried about how your body looks, how your face looks. None of that stuff is important, okay? What is important is understanding that by saying, this is my body, it's my hand, it's my face, you're making it part of your identity, which it's not, okay? This body is going to age and die. My hand is already beginning to decay. So is the rest of me. But it's not me, okay? And that's all that matters, because if you know that you're not the body, then death cannot harm you. Ideologies, you have to surrender your ideologies. Not God, not Jesus. Your beliefs are completely different, but your ideologies, whether you're a Presbyterian or a Baptist or an Episcopalian or a Catholic, you're not a Catholic. You're not a Presbyterian. You're not any religion. You are completely separate from them. And by saying, I am a Christian, okay, you're basically taking that into and making that part of your identity, which is a fake identity that you don't need. So, by surrendering these parts of yourself, which I know maybe it seems crazy to do, you can free yourself. And once you free yourself, you'll have access to the inner dimension where there's love, joy, peace, wisdom, creativity. All these things are available to you. I mean, when I first woke up, I felt just a huge wave of love and peace and serenity just go through me. And that was me accessing my inner dimension. And that's what you have to do. There may be other things that you have to surrender that's specific to you. Like maybe your dad is a jerk, but you need to forgive him and let it go. Because you can't make that part of your identity. Because your identity is fake. It's not who you are. Okay? You are pure consciousness. Part of the cosmic consciousness. Okay? And if you hold on to or cling to these things, then you won't be able to access what's your due. Okay? And so, I mean, we've just touched on a few things, and they're important. So I don't want to try and give you too much now to do. But start with just recognizing that you are not your identity. That's the most important thing. And once you recognize, surrender to it. And the term surrender means give up. Stop fighting who you are. Okay? All right, well, have a good one.